Bear Down Ballers. I'm your host, AJ Bramlett, back again with my super producer, Ryan Wall. And man, heck of a victory this weekend, man. So let's go ahead and hop right in.
Yeah, let's start from there. Arizona had a big 4-point victory in Champaign to beat the Fighting Illini. It was a crazy game. Arizona was down by as much as 14 as much in the first half, stormed back, and they got the victory. Just break it down, AJ. What did you think of this big victory?
Well, I think this is obviously the first time that they've, really, I think maybe against, Wichita State a little bit, but they've been in trouble. And I was a little worried for, a minute or two. Illinois was extremely hot from the outside. I mean, they hit threes from all over the place. Their energy was way up. I wanted to see a game like this to see how our guys really respond, especially on the road in that type of environment. It's not something, that they played against, especially, with COVID and all the stuff that's been going on over the last year or so. They really haven't been in an environment, like that yet. And they rebounded, man. They stuck together. I thought that, even though some guys, I thought Kriisa had a rough first half, but his energy was still there, throughout the first half. I thought, Azuolas did a heck of a job, kind of calming everybody down in the first half and keep being a consistent force out there. And then, Christian, I thought he struggled a little bit with Coburn's, strength and size and adjusting to it early, but he was able to, turn that around definitely in the second half. And then, everybody contributed something in this game. Everybody contributed to this victory, whether it be a hustle play, by Dylan Terry, whether it be, a knockdown, shot, by Kerr, or, especially Ben. I mean, Ben, this game, if we've been talking about it, was this his best game? I think this was, probably his best game offensively in that type of environment, with the crowd screaming at him, with the intense pressure of that entire game, and especially being down. He stuck to the game plan. He took shots when he needed to. He made shots when we needed them most, and was just, a star out there.
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin right now has scored 83 points in just the last 3 games to play, AJ. And he's, as you said, he's been just incredible to watch. He's doing everything. He seems like he's driving more than he has in the past. His passing ability looks to be at a greater level, and he's just putting all phases of the game together. But the guy that has really impressed me has been Kerr Kriisa, because as you mentioned, he struggled in that first half, and then he might have won the game for Arizona. I remember they were down 2 with just a few minutes left, and he hit that little floater to tie it up, and he was just lights out in that second half. What do you think of his play? And I mean, do you really think he can become the X factor for this team to put them over to the next level?
Absolutely. We've talked about this, throughout the pod this season. He's the spark plug, along with, energy guys, obviously DT is, an energy guy every single game, but Kerr being the point guard and really the orchestrator of the offense. I mean, we need him to play like that, every single game. And that was really a test, for him that he passed, is because he didn't come out, on fire. He wasn't able to do much in the first half. They were doing a good job guarding him off pick and rolls and making him uncomfortable. But that didn't affect him at all. Second half, he came out still aggressive. When the shots were there, he took them, knocked them down. I thought you mentioned his floater and him getting into the lane more. That's going to be a huge key to his development, is if he can knock down that consistent floater over, larger guys in the paint, and he can get in there and start making more plays, for guys in the paint. That's going to be a huge bonus, for Arizona. But I just like his attitude, man. Like, he's the guy that you want on your team when you're going into a hostile environment like that in Champaign, where, the crowd is on you the entire game. It's hard to hear. You need to have consistent energy and guys that just believe in themselves 110%. That's him. And he showed that on Saturday. Knocked down huge shots, made defensive plays. When he jumped out of bounds, threw the ball off the Illinois defender, near the end of the game. Made a good pass to Ben on the fast break, for his layup when they were making that run. So he's just a fun player to watch. I like him a lot, and I'm happy that he's our point guard right now.
Yeah, I really feel like, as you just mentioned, that in the tight moments late in the game, he rose up, and it really seems like that he gets better when the moment gets bigger, and that's the true test for a great player, is if they can, when it matters most, get the job done for their team, it was just great to see him do that. What do you think of the big men's performances? Christian Coloco, Tubelis. Coloco didn't score that much. He still had 4 blocks, and I mean, I think he did a pretty good job overall against Coburn. Coburn finished with 13 points, but wasn't very dominant. And so what do you think of those two guys?
I thought they both did a heck of a job. And, Christian did exactly what he needed to do in that game. We didn't really need him to score, a ton of points. What we needed to do was him to hold down, Kofi Coburn. And he did that. Held him to, I think he was averaging 23 before the game, held him to 10 below his average. And the first half, like we said, mentioned a little bit earlier, like I thought he was just kind of getting used to his physical play, kind of learning his habits. And then you saw that in the second half when he started blocking those jump hooks and really, turning that back and making him worry about that. He started making a huge impact. And then there was other plays throughout the game where, they had a wide open three in the corner and Christian, sprinted from the paint out there, challenged that shot and got a hand on that one and blocked it. Like there was just so many effort plays that he made during that game that, you look at the stat sheet and you're like, oh, he had, he didn't score more than 10 points. He didn't have a ton of rebounds, but his effect on the game was a winning effect. And his play, especially in the second half and immediately in the second half, where Coburn took a couple shots and he put him back, put him back in his face, that it gave, I think it instilled some confidence in the team and just really gave them a good push to, make a strong second half push and get that victory. And then Tubelis is just solid, man. He's just every single game he does what he does. And he runs the court hard. He finishes around the rim, takes good shots. He's a great passer. He can handle the ball in the open court, which is a real big plus for us as well when there's pressure. And he's just a really, really good player. And so they both did a good job, doubling on Coburn throughout the game, kind of mixing up looks for him and trying to make him uncomfortable. And they stepped up to the challenge and did what we needed to do to get that victory. There were two huge keys to that success.
Yeah, they both have added greatly to the success of this Arizona team. In the first 9 games, they're 9-0 now, AJ. But before I move on and talk about the new AP updated rankings, any final thoughts on this game against Illinois?
Just like I said, I think it was a great victory, and it was just kind of a proving ground game where we know now that we can go into a hostile environment, handle adversity. Getting down 14 points on someone's home, court where they're shooting the lights out, make 16 threes in the game, and you come out with the victory and battle back and get that dub. That just says the character and the heart of this team. We know that they play hard. We know that they play a great brand of basketball, unselfish brand of basketball, but this was just an answer of, the first, in my opinion, first true real road test, that they're going to have to face, and they passed it, especially with, still the travel issues and all the stuff that could have distracted them from this game. They overcame all that and came out with the dub, and, we'll keep the train rolling. So, no, I was very, very pleased with the way that they played.
Yeah, there were travel issues, as you just mentioned. They had to stop in Indianapolis and supposedly take Ubers to Champaign, but they got there safely and got the dub. But yeah, the updated rankings after they beat actually that was their second win against high level Big Ten teams. We know they beat Michigan and Vegas and now Illinois. Two great wins. But AJ, I wanted to see what you thought of the updated AP rankings. Arizona moved up 3 spots to number 8 overall. What did you think about that?
I thought that it would be a little bit higher, to be honest. But rankings are rankings, man. And it's good. It's good to see them climbing up there. They deserve it. I think we're number one in the net overall ranking, which is really what matters. And they'll continue to climb, but it just gives us more stuff to shoot for, man. And so, they're playing extremely good basketball right now. They're fun to watch. I think this game, the Michigan game put us on the map, but I think this game even more from a national standpoint got everybody on the bandwagon. And so now everybody's, recognizing and seeing kind of what we've been seeing, this entire season. And, they're just playing a really good brand of basketball. They're a fun team to watch. And I expect it to just, keep rolling. I mean, obviously December is going to be tough with some tough road matchups, but the way that they play and the style of play, we know it travels, and we know that we can use that to get victories on the road. So it was just a good overall, weekend for our team.
Yeah, I think Arizona is, as you said, getting a little bit more national praise from the national media and fans, but I still think they're being a little bit underappreciated here. So if you just look at the rankings, Alabama's a few spots ahead of them. They're a one-loss team. Kansas, they're a one-loss team. UCLA is a one-loss team. Purdue was number one and lost to unranked Rutgers. They only dropped 2 spots down to number 3. So I really think if any of those other, like, if Arizona, say Arizona lost to Illinois and they were a one-loss team, Arizona would drop way down probably to like maybe 18 or something like that. Just a hypothetical. And when those other teams only move a few spots, you know what I'm saying?
We'll just keep handling our business, man. That's what that's what we're gonna do. We'll keep handling our business. We'll keep moving up, and the only matter that the ranking that matters is the one at the end of the season, man. So
That is
that's really what
true.
we're shooting for.
That is true. And Arizona has two easier type of matchups. They play um University of California Baptist, and then they play Northern Colorado. Those are two easier matchups this coming week. But then at the end of the month, AJ, they go on the road to Tennessee and then continue on the road at UCLA. How do you see those last two matchups I just mentioned playing out for the Wildcats at the end of the month?
Yeah, those are going to be tough. I mean, obviously, I think at Tennessee is going to be another huge matchup. Opportunity for us to again make a statement. Tennessee, obviously has a top 3 draft pick, probably with Jabari Smith's playing extremely well. So anytime you have a team that has that kind of talent on it, it's going to be tough, especially at their home, as we saw with Illinois and how ready their fan base was, for us to come in there, and that'll be a good matchup for them. But I think they'll be ready. I think. One thing that we've seen about this team is that they haven't come out flat in any of the games. They've been ready to play almost every single game. And whether shots are going down early or not, the effort and consistency has been there. And so I think that we'll continue to see that. But that's going to be absolutely a tough matchup on the road, especially during Christmas. And this is just from my history and when I played at Arizona. There's something about these Christmas games where the break is coming on and you're finishing the semester and all those things where it just makes it hard to win some of these games, around this time of year. And, it happened to us, I think my freshman year, we were undefeated and played Syracuse and got beat at McHale. And it wasn't because of, really gameplay so much as I think it was just kind of tiredness and exhaustion from, the semester and all that stuff that had gone on. So, I think they'll have to overcome a little bit of that. And then UCLA obviously is UCLA. And every single one of those games is going to be a battle. We're going to be ready for it. It's a rivalry game, and that's one matchup that everybody's looking for. I think across the nation too, and even from nationwide media, is how we're going to perform in that game against UCLA. So, both of those are going to be fun to watch. I think it's some Christmas gifts for us at the end of the month. Holiday gifts for us to enjoy. But I take us against anybody, man, anytime. So, I think those are games obviously we can win. They're going to be difficult, but from what I've seen so far, this team, I'm riding with U of A.
Yeah, that matchup, December 30th, the day before New Year's Eve against UCLA is probably the next best matchup on the national college basketball schedule. That'll be a fantastic match between Arizona and UCLA. But one thing before we go, Arizona is actually, even though they're not top 5, being 8 is still good enough for their best overall ranking since the 2017-18 season. So it is great stuff that they're doing. But AJ, why don't you tell everybody the great guest that we have coming up next on the show?
Absolutely, man. This is exciting. He's been doing a heck of a job all season long. He's the rock for this team, on the offensive and defensive end. The big man, Azuolas Tubelis, joining us next on Bear Down Ballers. Before we go, I want to give a quick shout out to Adia Barnes and the women's team for what they're doing over there. Arizona's the only, undefeated team for both the men's and women's side in college basketball. So it's a great day. It's a great year to be a Wildcat. So congratulations to them as well.
You're good.
Before we move on to the next topic, let me tell you guys a little bit about our partners over at BetRivers Sportsbook. If you haven't signed up with BetRivers yet, now's the time because they are offering a $250 match bonus for your first deposit. But what sets them apart is that they require just one playthrough to turn your bonus into cash money. With their new Rush Play Instant Approval, withdrawing your winnings is safer, more secure, and more reliable. With basketball season tipping off, get in on the action by going to BetRivers.com today or by downloading the BetRivers iOS app. Must be 21 years or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Hey, thanks for joining us on Bear on Ballers. We got the big man in the middle, Azuolas Tubelis, joining us today. And how's everything going, my man?
All good. Now just took a nap, getting ready for practice.
Yeah, I remember those naps in between class and practice were the best one. Even if they're like 10, 15 minutes, man. Got to get those in. So, yeah, thanks for joining us today, man. First off, just want to congratulate you on the start to the season. You've been a steady force, for AZ this whole season, really on the offensive end and defensive end. And, we can count on your energy and effort each time out. Could you talk about kind of your style of play and how you developed that over the years and kind of what you try to bring to the team every single game?
I just want to bring my energy, my unselfishness every game. I'm trying to find my open teammates. I'm looking to pass first, not to score like every time. I'm not a selfish guy. I'm just trying to make my teammates better, look better, and I think that's why we keep winning games, because our team is I think most unselfish team in the NCAA. I don't know.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you guys obviously your assist to basket, made basket numbers every single game are incredible. That you guys leading the nation for that. And, I love the way that you guys are playing this year. I mean, you guys get the ball out quick after every single basket, look for easy baskets in transition. You've been running the court like a madman this year, getting dunks and easy baskets. Can you kind of talk about the style of play that Coach Lloyd has put in place this year and kind of how you fit into that and how you've been liking it so far?
Yeah, I love this pace. I don't know, we're just playing fast, and of course we need to keep in mind that we need to play smart, because playing fast and playing smart, it's really hard to combine. But we're trying to do that, and our turnovers are getting low, so I think it's a good sign. And of course, I just need to run the court every time I'm tired or I'm not tired. I'm still running, because it really helps for our team to find a good looks. So I need to just be in the paint every possession, try to post up. If not, try to move the ball to create some new looks, set the ball screens, roll, and that's it. That's how our game works.
Well, they've been looking for you. I know it feels good as a big man when you run and you get the ball. So every time I know Kerr really hits you, on the fast break. Really, all your teammates really are looking ahead every single time, trying to get that easy basket, running to the front of the rim, which you've been doing a great job of. And we had Coach Lloyd on the pod a couple of weeks ago, and, he talked very highly of you, obviously, about your development from last year to this year. One thing he really focused on, too, is your improvement on the defensive end. Is that something that you put a lot of effort into, and how trying to get better from last year to this year? How do you think it's been going so far?
Yeah, I think last year I was a little scared, maybe, or just I don't know, just scared of fouling, maybe, because it was my first year. Everything is new. I don't know, and now I'm just more confident myself. So I'm just trying to steal balls, trying to I don't know, swipe balls. I don't know. Yeah, but I still have to work on a lot of things defensively, and I'm trying to do it now. So yeah, I know that I'm a better player defensively, of course, but I still have to work on some things.
Yeah, you've been doing a great job getting steals and leading the break. Obviously, you have a lot of different skill sets in your offensive game once you get out on that fast break. And I want to go back a little bit and talk about your time in Lithuania. I know you won the the Adidas Next Generation tournament, a few years ago. Played with Latuvas Ritas. I actually played overseas. I played in Latvia for a couple of years for ASK Riga and played in the Baltic League. So, I know what high level of basketball is played over there. And I don't think people really understand,
Yeah.
how good basketball is over there. And, if you could talk a little bit about that and how that kind of helped you develop and get ready to come to the States and kind of the parts of your game that you've brought, from growing up in Lithuania, what you learned, playing there.
Yeah. So about that tournament, it was every year, and I don't know. First time I came there, I was with 2 year guys older than me, and I didn't play that much. But there played Sirvidis. He was in NBA last year for Detroit Pistons. So he was the leader, and we won that thing. We won that whole thing. And with my age guys, I was the leader. I scored a lot of points, and I think that's why Arizona saw me, and I just said yes because this opportunity can happen only one time in life. So, and yeah, the level of basketball there, especially in Lithuania, you can learn a lot of things, a lot of, you can gain a lot of confidence because you're playing with professional guys. There's different type of physicality, decision making. So I think I learned, I took that from there to here in Arizona, and I think it really feels. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just calm and just I'm not rushing with my passes, with my shots, and I don't know. In Europe, that's a high level basketball, and you can see in the Euro League, there's like you can shoot first 5
That's right.
second contested shot because coach will be mad, and
To get you get you out of there.
yeah. So I don't know. It's a different type of basketball, of course, but here I chose to came here because I like to play fast and I like to share the ball, just
Yeah.
run.
I mean, you've been doing a great job of that. Another part of, when you're, playing overseas, and you also got the opportunity to play at the Basketball Without Borders with, one of your teammates, Ben Matherin. I think both you guys were all stars at that camp. Did you guys really talk when you were there? Did you know each other, when you were there already, or how did that relationship build once you got to Arizona, or how did that go?
Yeah, so they invited me like last day. I was late. I was 1 day late. I came on second day, and then they apologized me that we're sorry, we never forget you and stuff. So yeah, I knew that he was there, Ben, and I knew that he's a very good player. And then we played like some games 5-on-5. I was in the team with Joshua Prima. He's now
Yeah.
in Spurs.
Mhm.
So he shot a lot, and he didn't like it, of course. Like, but I understand that it's different type again. All players wants to show up in those camps, and yeah, Ben, his team made in the finals. He made some good dunks, and I was like, wow, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He is an NBA type player already. He has everything: body, shot. He's athletic. I don't know. And yeah, I didn't know him. We didn't talk. But then when he committed here and I committed here, I was so happy because I knew that we can do a lot of good things together. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you guys have been a really good tandem this year, providing support, especially on the offensive end and holding down the offense. With you, and I know you probably have the dream of that everyone has in Arizona because of the program that we have is going to play at the next level, whether that be NBA or Europe or wherever you want to play. What parts of your game do you think you're currently working on improving to help you try to get ready for that next level once you decide to make that jump?
Yeah, I'm working on a lot of things. Lately, last night I was working on my ball handling, like 30 minutes of ball handling, then shooting threes. Every day I'm shooting threes, free throws, and just physical moves like in post-ups with contact finishing and stuff. But I know that all players, they want to play in the NBA, but I'm not rushing with it. I just want to feel happy that what I'm doing, because I love basketball, and I just don't rush. I just love playing this game, and whatever it takes.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's a lot of fun right now, the way you guys are playing and the
Because
team that you guys have and the chemistry that you guys have built with this team. Speaking of NBA, though, who are your favorite current NBA players? Do you have any that you model your game after, or do you take any pieces of their professional games and try to model your game after them?
uh, I really don't have that like one player.
Yeah,
I'm looking when I'm watching NBA games. I'm looking how team plays, how they're I don't know how they're sharing the ball again. So I like to share the ball, so I'm watching that. So I like how Bulls plays because they have a lot of stars there, and usually when you have all the stars in one team, it's hard to share the ball because they need to score. There are stars, so but I don't know, they find open looks and everyone can score there. So I'm enjoying to watch them.
yeah. Bulls was one of my favorite teams growing up. They're having a heck of a season so far, playing really good basketball. So it's a good example, man. I know you guys had an interesting trip, I think, to Champaign over the weekend due to some weather issues and and things with your flight. What was that trip like getting there? And I think you guys had to Uber, from Indianapolis to Champaign. Like, who was on that ride with you? What did you guys do on the way up there? How'd you
Yeah,
guys stay focused, for the game and overcame that?
yeah. So we were supposed to land in Champagne, but then I checked the time, and it was the time that we're supposed to land. So I checked the window. I can't see anything because of bad weather. So I felt like we're landing. The pilot said that we're landing. Put your seatbelts on and stuff. And I I felt like we're on the ground, and then immediately we went up, and it happened like 2 3 times. We did like 2 3 circles in the sky, and tried again, and then he said, I'm sorry and stuff, like we need to go somewhere else. And we landed safely in Indianapolis. Then because you land like out of nowhere, no one knows, so there's no like airport staff around your plane, so we can't get out. So 30 40 minutes later, they opened the door, we went out, and we ordered Ubers because of bad weather. Buses from Champaign to Indianapolis, they would come like in 2 hours and a half. So we ordered Ubers, like 5 cars for only our team. And yeah, I was in a car with Coach Murphy, uh, Benedict, Shane, Adama, and Justin Kokoski. So yeah, it was fun trip. I don't know, we stopped to get some food because we were hungry, and yeah, we went uh, University of Illinois campus. We booked. We came to hotel. We had film. We had dinner. So it was fun trips, and we knew that we had a bad trip and we have a game tomorrow, but like there's no excuse. We just need to play.
That's right, man. And that's those stories are the ones you remember forever anyway, man. When stuff like that happens, man. So let's talk about that game, man. Speaking of, being in Champaign, you guys had a big time win this weekend. On the national scene, I really thought you guys showed, what kind of team you are to the nation this weekend. I obviously, I'd already seen that and been promoting it, but I think the whole nation got to see what toughness and grit you guys bring to the table this year. Battle back from being down, double digits in the first half. Two of their guys were super hot, hitting threes from all over the place, but you guys battled back for that. And I thought, one of the keys to the victory was your consistent scoring throughout the game, especially in the first half. And then also the defensive job that both you and Christian did on Kofi Coburn. And so kind of talk about that matchup with Kofi and, what you thought of Christian's performance. I thought he did a hell of a job and, really matched up with him well. What did you think of that performance and matching up with him on Saturday?
Yeah, so first of all, there were a lot of fans. It was like my second time playing in that many fans. And yeah, I don't know, just before the game, Benedict said, like, I don't know about you guys, but I'm not going home without a dub. And those words kind of, I don't know, made me focus more, lock in, and just I was so locked in that I didn't hear like hands, So I don't know, we just needed to stay calm, like we're playing a normal game. And in first minutes, I tried to set the tone, and I think it worked. But then Ben made some shots, and we were on our way to the win. But they have a lot of good shooters. They made some tough shots. They made 16 threes, and it's really hard to win when a team makes 16 threes. But we showed our toughness, and like you said, yeah, they have a big man, Kofi. So we just tried to fake trap him and to rake the ball from him. So I think it worked. He was 5 from 15 from the field, I think. So I don't know. CeeLo is, like we all know, he's a great defensive guy. He showed it more in the second half. He blocked some shots, and yeah, he received Kofi's physicality. He matched him later, so I think it worked, and I'm really happy what CeeLo is keep doing, and he keeps getting better every day. I see it in practices, so I'm not worried about him. So
Yeah, I think you guys are, one of the top, if not the top front courts in the nation, right now from a 1-2 punch, doing a great job on both ends of the floor. One thing that I heard that there were a couple of special guests in the house to watch you play Saturday at Illinois. What was it like having the basketball legend of all time, Arvydas Sabonis, and his son Domantas on hand to watch you Saturday? And had you met them before? Or what was that experience like?
I met his dad before. He was a president of our national team, like basketball organization, like all countries.
Yeah.
So I met him before. We shook hands a lot of times, but I've seen Domantas in person, but we never talked, and I didn't text him or something what do I need to do? Maybe I need to improve on something. No, I'm not that kind of player. I want to learn by myself. And yeah, I knew that they will come. Coach Tommy told me on plane, "Will you be nervous or something like that?" I said, "No, I don't know. You can invite Hollywood stars. I don't care. I will lock in and play the game." But yeah, we we talked a little bit after the game. They asked some questions, how's life in Tucson and stuff. So I don't know. It's good to see them, of course.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it reminds you of home. And, I played for a team, Forward Azuolas in Spain, where Arvidas had played, and then played against Zalgiris a bunch, obviously. So, good history there with one of the greatest players, to ever play the game of basketball.
Yeah.
And this has been fun, man. Last question for you that I have, and let you get out of here. You not only you there, but you have your brother there with you. What's it like been to have your brother and be able to play together there in Arizona, and how has that helped you, kind of settle in and enjoy your experience a little more at U of A?
Yeah, so I think if not my brother, I wouldn't play that good. I wouldn't study that good because I didn't want to study at all. But he just kept saying that you need to study, because if not basketball, like something will happen, like what you will do then. So those words kind of motivated me, and I'm just keep following them. I don't know, it's amazing feeling to keep traveling with him, to keep to be on the same court, on the bench, and when he's getting some minutes, I don't know, you can see my smile all over my face. So it's really good feeling. I don't know. We'll have a Christmas together with his girl's family, so I think it will be really fun. Yeah.
Good, man. Well, you know what? I appreciate you joining Bear Down Ballers today, man. You guys have been making all of us alumni extremely proud with the way you've been playing, how hard you've been playing, and the type of basketball that you've been putting out there on the court. So keep it rolling, my man. It's going to be a fun year for you. Hopefully we can get you back in sometimes. And, thanks for taking the time out today to join Bear Down Ballers. Appreciate you.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Anytime, my man. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you.